So now all we need to do is add one little step to this in order to be able to do intervals below. Let's say we want a perfect fifth below C. Step number one, since we're going below, we count down 5, C, B, A, G, F, and it needs to be some kind of F. Whenever you are thinking about an interval, you always think about it from the bottom note and the key signature of the bottom note. So now we need to analyze what we have. We have an F and a C. The key signature of C is B flat. Therefore, this is the fifth note of the scale, and therefore this is a perfect fifth. What if we had asked for a diminished fifth below C? Okay, we could go through the process. We'd count down 5, and we get our F. And now we want to analyze what we have. And we have to analyze this from the base note. And when we do that, we know that currently F to C is a perfect fifth. We need to make this a diminished fifth. And you might remember that a perfect fifth, if you make it a half step smaller, becomes diminished. So we need to decrease the size of this interval. And since the C was given to you, you can't change it. So to decrease the size of the interval, to bring them closer, we actually have to raise the bottom note, and that makes the interval slightly smaller. If we want an augmented fifth below C, again, we count down 5. We'd figure out that was a perfect fifth, so we need to make it a half step larger. And a half step larger, we would have to do an F flat to increase the distance between the C and the F. Let's do another one. I'm going to ask for a minor 7 below E. I'd like you to stop the video for a moment, figure this out on your own, and when you're ready, start it back up and I'll explain it. Okay, so hopefully you tried to do this one. Let me walk you through my solution. Minor 7th below F. First thing we do is we count down 7, which takes us down to F. So E, D, C, B, A, G, F. Now, we look at the key signature of the bottom note and we analyze what we currently have. The key signature of F is 1 flat, which is B flat. So right now, this is a major 7 because this is the 7th note of the F scale. To make major into minor, we need to make the interval a half step smaller. We cannot change the top note. We need to change the bottom note. So to bring these two intervals closer together, we need to raise the bottom note. Okay. Just quickly, if we were on this and we wanted a minor 7, and we were asked to do a minor 7th up from F, our answer would be E flat because we would lower the top note. In this one, we were given E, and we can't change the top note because that's what we were given. We have to change it on the bottom note. See, this one makes the interval smaller by lowering the top note. This one makes the interval smaller by raising the bottom note. So I'm going to give you a few of these. I'd like you to do, let's try this, a major 6th down from C. Let's do a diminished 4th down from D. Let's do a minor 3rd down from E. And one more. Let's do a perfect fifth down from F. So why don't you stop the video, work through these, and then you can go through my explanations one at a time. So now here we count down 6 from C, and we get an E. Now we need to consider the key signature of the bottom note. For E, that's F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp. So if we had E and C sharp here, it'd be major. Therefore, this right now is a minor 7. Excuse me, that's a minor 6. So this interval is a half step too small from what we want. We need to lower the bottom note to make it a half step larger. Now, we're going to go down 4, D down to A. As it stands, if we look at the key signature of A, which is F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, this is a perfect fourth. We need a diminished fourth, which is a half step smaller. We can't change the top note, so to make the interval smaller, we have to raise the bottom note to bring it closer to the top note. And now we need a minor third below E. We count down 3, EDC. We analyze what we have. That is currently a major third. We need a minor third, and we can't change the top note. So to make the interval a half step smaller, we raise the bottom note. Finally, a perfect fifth below F. We count down 5, and we get B. Think of the key signature of B, which is F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp. That had an F sharp in it, so B to F sharp would be a perfect fifth. That means this right here is a diminished fifth. And to make a diminished fifth into a perfect fifth, we have to make the interval a half step larger. And since we're doing intervals below, we can only change the bottom note. So a perfect fifth below F would be B flat. Step by step, 1, count down to the proper note head. 2, analyze what you have. And this involves thinking of the key signature of the bottom note, seeing what you have. Is it major, minor, diminished, augmented, perfect? Once you know what you have, modify it, specifically the bottom note, to make it larger or smaller as necessary.